Okay, so I guess there's no thumbnail involved in the way I just set up this live stream. Okay. Also, no time to fix my hair. All right, that's fine. Because the goal. All right, I'm just gonna do it again. It's fine because the goal was to do this live stream so I could record the content and hopefully it will be evergreen and it's something I can chop up later and use on my channel. But for now, the thing that I wanted to talk about is, if you've seen the vlogs where I complained about, not complained, acknowledged the challenges of Mercury retrograde. I just learned about Mercury retro shade. How do you do that? Is this how the, oh, yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. So allegedly, Mercury retrograde ended on July 31st, but the period after that, the retro shade shadow period, is from now until August 15th. So we are not in the there. I should probably try to log into this live somewhere else so that if there's a hey Trish, I keep missing you. Every time you go live, it's like right after I went to bed. But I do appreciate that you are trying to change the way people talk about children on the YouTube. I'm not really that familiar with what you would call that sector, but it is interesting. I've missed seeing you too because I love your lives and the positivity, and I like doing the brain training. So I want to do more of that. Hey, Finley River Kennels, Jeff Lackey. Thank you. I appreciate that you shared it out. So what I was reading about was, I talked before about Mercury retrograde and that allegedly being a time when, electronics mess up, you might have some misconnections, poor communications, and I don't think it's something that necessarily I believe hard and fast, but I'm definitely entertained by it and find it something useful. Hey, Rochelle, thank you for coming in. I find it useful when I want to make an excuse for something. So I just learned of this thing called Mercury retro shade, and that is apparently the couple of weeks afterwards. But even though they say all these things go wrong during Mercury retrograde, the way I've always looked at it is this: if things are quote unquote going wrong or seem like they're in chaos, the only purpose for that is so that you can grow through the chaos in order to get back to clarity. So it is meant to be a growth period. And I don't know if they is what they recommend for Mercury retro shade, but either way, I'm looking at it right now as a growth period. So I was about to do this worksheet that talks about your next chapter in life. So I'll ask y'all the first question that's on here, which is, if you now have the opportunity to become a new you, and there's less than 150 days left in 2019. So I'm also starting to think about, what are the things that I want to try to accomplish before the end of the year, and what do I want to accomplish in the next year. And I know all of you that are in here right now with Trish and Finley River Kennels and Rochelle are some ambitious people, and I know about some of the things you want to accomplish. But one of the things that I'm just trying to accomplish in the next chapter is bringing, new things into your life. So this is hey, Royalty Cosmos. Thank you for coming in. I was just talking about in the next chapter of your life, or let's just say the next year, what are some of the things you would want to bring into your life. So I'm doing this worksheet, and I'll try to share it with you all so you can do it with me. And I'm going to get into the chat from this other phone because then it lags. I still haven't fully worked out this live thing. Royalty Cosmos here is a veteran at it, and it's really good. She has some great live shows, great interviews. I don't know how, you have to tell me how you do the call-in shows. Do you have a production assistant or something that helps you with that? Because how you manage that if you're doing that by yourself is like a monumental feat. But her live shows are great, so if y'all haven't seen those, you should definitely check them out. They're always interesting topics. And I'm supposed to be getting into this live so I can chat with y'all in case it's lagging behind. But here's the things that it gives you the options on this particular sheet. And you might think of other things that you've come up with. But within the next year, I would like to become more social, intellectual, productive, service-oriented, or involved in my community. If any of these actually resonate with you on something that you want to do in your next chapter, then put it in the chat. So it was social, intellectual, productive, service-oriented, involved in my community, involved in a religious or spiritual organization. Okay, I hear you, Friendly River Kennels, Jeff Lackey, that you are driving, so you can think about this then. And do you want to be more fun-loving, well-read, educated, well-traveled, skilled, creative, artistic, athletic or physically active, family-oriented, friendly and cordial, thoughtful, giving, spiritual, self-aware, adventurous, relaxed, playful, goal-oriented, financially prosperous. That's one that knowledgeable about blank. Like what would you fill in there? Do you want to be more knowledgeable about something specifically? Probably all of us in here want to be more knowledgeable about YouTube. Healthy, involved in new relationships, involved in an organization, independent, interdependent. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like that one a lot. So I think about that a lot because interdependent acknowledges that we don't, nobody succeeds by themselves, that we need other people to help and to network. So, Trish, I'm sorry about Nightbot. I really got to fix that Nightbot. I don't know what it was that you typed, but he's extra, and I'm sorry. Okay, so we see financially stable, adventurous, supporting their online business, and involved in my online business. So, all right, I'm going to answer this question then for myself. The 5 ways so this is the question. You heard me list some of them, and if you want to share your ways up to 5 or any of the ones that you haven't listed, besides your online business and financially stable. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I wonder if I can just go in and turn him off now. Hold on. Let me see if I can do that. Hey, J. Kurt. Okay. I think I just got rid of Nightbot. And I'm just going to remove his moderator. And that should happen. Because Nightbot has been really rude in my chat. And he is so sensitive. Like 2 emojis and Nightbot wants to tell everybody to just shut up. He's horrible. That is the worst bot moderator, is Nightbot. So I got to figure something else out. I know I need to ask the Boss Life Online. Her bot works really well. I got to ask her how she does it. Okay. So Nightbot is very rude. And Trish, I don't know if he still has you timed out. And I can't undo it. He sucks. I'm sorry, Trish. I'm really sorry. You know that's not on purpose. You know. If I could, I would smash Nightbot. That was that was my best. Smash it. Okay. The 5 ways I would most like to grow in the next year are to become, I'm going to just say that, more knowledgeable about YouTube and how to fix Nightbot so that, and live streaming. I want to be able to use the fancy OBS and all those things. So that's one of the things I would like to be more knowledgeable about. I would most like to grow in terms of being more, I can't believe I'm saying this, more social. Hi, A1. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, but good day. How are you? Oh, well, thank you for coming in. Finley River Kennels, Jeff Leckie is always very supportive and sharing channel, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate for you from stopping by. We are talking about ways that we want to grow in the next year or in our next chapter, and some people have said be more financially stable, grow their online business, be more adventurous. So mine right now was to be more knowledgeable about YouTube, to be more social, and yeah, that's something I'm just working on just being more social, because I really like time with myself, so I enjoy being home with me. So I'm going to work on that, because I also like connecting with people, so I need to make it more of a priority, especially since I mostly work at home with just me. So okay, Royalty Cosmos is more knowledgeable about tech, Adobe Premiere. Oh yeah, that would really, really helpful. And how do you want to be more adventurous? Is that like travel? What do you mean by that? And also, Jeff, you just beat me to it. I was about to tell Ye1 that Jeff was driving, so he might not be able to respond to you. I guess this one's also more YouTube related. The creative was something I would want to grow more in that way, because I really want to get better at editing and having some really good edits. One channel that I can't believe I'm admitting this either, that I really love, mostly because his editing is just, I love it. It cracks me up. Is Martin Lewis. He mostly reports on YouTube drama and gives very funny commentary, usually. Anything that drives your adrenaline up. Okay, that sounds adventurous. Yeah, I want to, things like that I want to do. I definitely want to skydive, and that's been on my to-do list for years. So that's something that I would definitely like to have, like, maybe in 2020, I check off 20 things on my bucket list, because I don't want to look back with regret. And I really don't generally call it a bucket list. I call it something that rhymes with bucket list and starts with an F. But it's the things that, you might have all of these reasons not to do it, and eventually you just got to say, like, F it and do the thing. So skydiving is definitely on one. And the other thing that's been on my to-do list for a long time, that's not necessarily, I don't know how much adrenaline it's going to bring. I feel like it'll bring some sort of endorphins, like it'll feel good. But I really want to swim with dolphins. I've never done that. That's been on my list for forever. So all of that to say, then, I think I want to be more well-traveled. So that's something I would like to bring in my life to grow. Involved in an organization, this kind of goes back to being more social. There are organizations that I was involved in the past that I just haven't made time for in the last few years. And at one point, I didn't make time for them because I was probably pretty depressed. Definitely had a lot of social anxiety at some point. And then there was a point where I came out of that, And I definitely still didn't want to go back to some of those organizations. Although I found value in them, I just had a lot of anxiety about my time away. And I feel like I'm not only in a different place right now, I'm a different person. So that's something that I miss, actually. Like, I miss the best parts of it. And now I know how to take the best and leave the rest. So I'll say that, involved in an organization. And then the fifth thing, more control of my emotions and reactions. Yeah, that's like my daily work. And the fifth thing is I want to be more healthy. And I think the emotions and reactions fits into that health for me, and just like holistic health. So that includes my mental health, and I think protecting my happy exists in that way. So okay, y'all, I said this was a worksheet that we're doing though. So we've already done the first part. We've talked about the things that we want to become more of, and if you didn't list them before, you can list them now. And then using those things to back how you would like to grow, right? So now the next part of the worksheet gives you a chance to give yourself an example and use that as your guiding path. So you could say, I can become more blank by blank, and just giving yourself a chance to think about it. So yes, that's me. So Jeff saying, I want to be healthier. I could become more healthier by eating healthier food. So that's a great step, and it gives you a really good kind of North Star for your goal. But then you got to give yourself some like a map to get there on, well, how are you going to eat healthier food? So I could become more healthier by eating healthier food, and then you would just like take the next step on how you might do that. So one example they gave here, okay, is I could become more physically active by walking 3 times a week. So giving yourself some sort of parameters in there on how you'll do it. Or another example they gave is I could become more loving by being more romantic with my wife. I love that, Jeff. So Jeff says I could become more healthy by eating healthier foods, particularly more veggies and fruit, but less red meat. Like, that gives you a really clear like mission statement for what you want to bring into your life, that when things show up and don't look like that, you know not to eat them. Or, if you do eat them, show yourself some compassion and figure out how you'll get back on the right track. So I'm going to try one. One of mine, what did I say one of mine was? Oh, I said I want to become more knowledgeable about YouTube. So one of the things I found today that I had never heard of before, maybe I heard of them, but I had never subscribed to them, but it's a YouTube page called Video Influencers, and they basically give just information on how to be a better YouTuber. And how I found them today, though, was they had done an interview with this author, entrepreneur, Gary Vaynerchuk. And I'm reaching out of the frame to show you this book. This is one of Gary's many best-selling books. But his first book was called Crush It. And it was really about building a community or brand or business online. But he wrote Crush It maybe, I think it was like 10 years ago. So like when Twitter first came out. So before everyone was kind of doing it. This was then his second book called The Thank You Economy. And it was more about the idea that people want to receive, they want to receive something from you before you're asking something of them, right? Like what they call maybe like the give, get. That before you're asking someone to buy something from you, you're offering something free of value, or something free that will actually be of value to them to receive it, but you're not asking anything for them in return. And Gary was on that channel and I connected with it. And so they have this book called, yeah, because I almost got way off track there. So Video Influencers has this book called YouTube Secrets that they spent 4 years writing after interviewing over 100 YouTubers from, you know, large sizes to more mid-size, and they put all of those things in one book because they wanted to be able to provide the content and the information that has allowed them to change their lives financially by being content creators. So all of that to say, I could become more knowledgeable about YouTube by getting the Video Influencers book, YouTube Secrets, and reading it before the end of the year. I'll probably get the audio book because that's more my speed. But I definitely wanted to give myself a specific time frame that I'm going to do this within, because anything like a, you know, a dream without like a plan is yeah, a goal without a plan is just a dream. That's all it is. Like it can't come to reality unless you put something behind it. And so one of the things you have to put behind it is that it's time bound, so that you don't get away from it. Yeah, I'm typing it in right now. And I'll see if I can't get the link because it's off Amazon. So I don't think I can drop that since it's leading you off of YouTube. But this is the location, the name of the book, YouTube Secrets. And it is oh, but you know what I can do, Royalty Cosmos, is I can also show you the cover so you'll know when you see it here on my phone. It is like, it's just got a big red YouTube on the, here it is. Okay, these are the two guys that have the Video Influencer channel, Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. I'm going to mess up their names, but the name of the book, is that going to be backwards? Anyway, that's it. YouTube Secrets, the ultimate guide to growing your following and making money as a video influencer. And, oh, you know what, Royalty Cosmos? I'll also hit you up on Instagram, too, probably tomorrow, and make sure you got it. Because there I can actually send you the link. So that's what my goal is. Y'all can keep me honest, because I've said it out loud here on this channel now. I'm going to do that by that. So what would be your way that some of you are going to bring more financial stability or adventure into your life? What's your statement? And I'm going to think about another one of mine while you guys share that. I said that I wanted to be more well-traveled. So I could become more well-traveled by setting up a couple of those flight trackers for cities that I know I want to go to that are within the budget that I can afford, so that if there is a last minute trip, I could actually take it. I mean, that's at least a start, you know. I hope it's worth it. So many people trying to do trainings with no actual substance. I will say this, Royalty Cosmos. I told you about the fact that with Gary Vaynerchuk, and I've been following him for years, like literally following him. Like this book here, I didn't even realize it, but he signed it. Like this, how early on I had been following him, and I did not realize that he signed it for me. And this book came out 7 years ago. So I say all of that to say Gary Vaynerchuk knows what he's talking about. He actually said that this book was all of the like tactical knowledge about how to grow on YouTube that he doesn't even understand and can't provide. So I do trust that it will have some actual substance. But you might be, one of us might, I might have to be the guinea pig, and then I send it to you after, but we can work it out. Okay. I could become more involved in an organization by signing up for the organization again. I don't know if that's something I'm going to commit to by the end of the year, but it's definitely something I can commit to by January of 2020. So that's something I know I can bring into the next chapter of my life. And I think that was like 3 out of the 4. I probably should have also brought something in here to write this down. Oh, but one of them was I could become more interdependent by. So I could become more interdependent by actually networking. And it's not something that I do. It's not even the networking, but actually asking for help when I need it, and being willing to make myself vulnerable enough to do that with people that have offered. I offer help a lot. I don't accept help a lot. And I was actually talking about that earlier with a friend. It's been a theme for me lately, so I think that's something I could bring more of into my life, is being more interdependent and using the resources that I have available of some pretty strong relationships that I don't always lean on when I can. And I could be, I know, Royalty Cosmos. It's my pride. So Jeff says it's pride. Royalty Cosmos says it's okay to receive and accept too. And I firmly believe that. And if I were giving the advice to a friend who I love and cared for, I would be saying, do the exact opposite of what I'm doing. So I don't know why I would do that. I wouldn't do that for myself. And Jeff, I think about that with the pride, and one of the things that does help me with this, that has helped me get a little bit better at the asking for help, is acknowledging that I would rather, though, ask for help when I really need it than to know it was available for me and I didn't, and then I don't get to do the thing that I wanted to do. I don't know how that crosses over in other life, but this showed up for me when I needed tutors, where I finally had to say, I need a tutor. Like, I'm not going to be able to get this on my own. I need that extra help. But yeah, Jeff, we have that same problem then of I help, but I don't like accepting help. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but we probably would both be better off if we could figure that out and accept help from people that want to help you. One of my good friends, though, did say one thing that also helped me with this, with just accepting things from people, and it was about accepting gifts. And she was saying that if someone wants to gift you something, it's because they want to do it. Like, they want to give this to you, and that makes them happy doing it. And if you don't want to accept the gift, then you're denying them the opportunity to be, to feel that joy of giving. And I think that shows up, too, for help. Like, if someone wants to help you and they knew you were struggling but you just didn't ask, like, that would be like, that really bums me out. I would have really rather helped you than having you struggle. Jeff, you just helped me have an aha moment about the asking for help. Seriously, that was I never really thought about it before that way until just now, that people that love and care for you and that care enough about you that they've offered their help would much rather you not be struggling. And you know what? Even people that offered their help, but it wasn't because they care about you. It was because they wanted something from you in the end. If you know that, then you can actually still use the help to your advantage. I don't know. So Royalty Cosmos says that she was like that for a long time, and I feel excited to give while not letting someone else feel that joy. Yeah, that got exhausting. Huh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, y'all are really giving me some good thoughts right now that I are, at least, if nothing else, making me think about things differently than I had thought about before. And I think that was one of probably my fifth thing then, is I just want to be more self-aware. And I can become more self-aware by journaling more and just reflecting a little bit more than what I'm doing. Because right now, that's probably why I looked up and realized, oh, it's almost 2020, and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Yeah, thinking all help is for a purpose or a reason is one mindset you had to change. I that totally resonates with me right now, because that's what I'm trying to do, is change that mindset of not feeling like, well, why would someone help you if they don't have, if you don't have something to immediately offer them, or there's not something in it for them. Like, there's got to, I don't know, I guess I've been feeling like, oh, there's got to be a catch. I don't know. But that must be part of the feeling. And one thing I did say for 2019 that I wanted to bring more into my life was trust. And trust in myself and trust in others. So it would be nice if I could trust that, others give freely, but also trust myself that even if they don't give freely, like, I'll survive whatever that outcome is too. Like, and ideally I'll grow from it. So I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think, or I hope that if nothing else, we've all left this a little more open to receiving, and knowing that we try to be good givers, but we can be good receivers too. And Rochelle, I am so glad you're back. I am also about to go. I wanted to hop on here for at least a half an hour live. I want to continue to practice. Also because I hadn't created any content in a long time. And it wasn't because I haven't been creating it. I have been creating it. But every time I sat down to edit it, like, none of it felt right. So today I kind of just said scratch all that, and I'm starting over. And I hope that you all will continue to rock with me. Hey, Dan Fowler, welcome to the live. We are just winding down, but I am sharing that, yeah, I hadn't created content in a while because it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like me. It felt like forced to just produce something for the sake of producing something, and that was just in the edits. Like, I got the content when I meant to get the content, but it doesn't fit, I guess, where I am in my life right now. I just realized today I've been on YouTube now for 6 months. Can't believe that 6 months has gone by so quickly. Yes, I hope you do, Rochelle. One thing that would be nice is if I actually come up with a live schedule, so then you would actually know when I was going live. So I could actually do that at some point. I promise I will. Because I'm figuring out how to continue to make YouTube work in my life. In the meantime, I know Finley River Kennel, Jeff Lackey, you have. So I am glad that we are still connected. And I'm really excited about a lot of the people that I have met, and a lot of the, like, networking streams and places where you can meet other channels. But I'm also learning how that can also just, like, kill your analytics if there are people there that connect with your channel, but they're not actually interested in your content. And when I watch you all and I go to visit your channels, like, I don't click on a thumbnail if I know I can't watch all the way through, because watching all the way through is what actually helps your content get recommended across YouTube. And what helps you understand, well, what do people want to actually see? And what I've noticed is a lot of people don't do that, or maybe they subscribe to channels that they're just not interested in because they want to have a transactional relationship at the time. And then, you'll see that you're only getting like a 25% watch through or etc. And that, yeah, it just kills your analytics. It doesn't really, if you really want to grow a real community of people that you've connected with around the type of content that you create, it helps to have people that want to watch your video all the way through. Hey, Super Marky. So so with that in mind, I'm trying to like take a step back from my channel and just look at it and what I'm putting out reflect truly who I am in a way that makes the most sense for my life right now at this moment? And are the other YouTubers that I meet the same? I wouldn't even say in the same space, but like the way that they're looking at their channel and how they want to grow an audience is something that they actually want to connect with people. Yeah, exactly, Jeff. Like in the beginning, you're just so, like I said, I've been on here 6 months. You're just so excited about the whole thing that you're just jumping into everything. And I think the way I thought about it earlier today was this, like, I'm really cautious about who I call a friend. I have lots of associates and people that you meet, and you meet a couple times a year at a party because you all like the same brand of something, or it's not a deep relationship, but it's someone that you can connect with and have a good time. Like those are maybe associates. Like my friends, they know me, they've seen me up, they've seen me down, they know my fears, they know me, right? And what I've noticed is that YouTube associates kill your analytics. Like I don't want any associates in my analytics right now. At this point, I'm like, no new friends. So I totally get it on just learning that process, and I still want to meet some associates, but I'm trying to really figure out how I fit in YouTube into my life, that I can really build a connection with the people that I have an opportunity to share content with, and whose content I have an opportunity to engage with. So that's that. I don't know what I'm going to do with this live. I appreciate all of you coming and staying here with me. This is another 38 minutes of practice for me as I work towards just becoming better at this YouTube. No worries, Royalty Cosmos. I appreciate you coming in, and I hope that your daughter has an easy hairdo process this evening, because I know what it was like when my mom was braiding my hair or doing my hair, and I don't know if I was as sensitive as I pretended to be, but I just wish her all for her. Thank you, Rochelle, for giving me some encouragement. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you as a person. I feel like I get to know you through all of the lives that we attend together, because Rochelle and I basically hang out all the time. That's facts. So, love you too, Finley River Kittles, Jeff Lackey. I still love saying your whole name. For those of you, if you don't know each other, check out Super Marky. Dan Fowler's up in here. I appreciate you coming. Finley River Kittles, Jeff Lackey. The whole family's got content, so you can check them all out, but start with Jeff. And if I forgot anybody, I'm going to say another shout out to Trish because she's probably not still in here because Nightbot was just rude. So I just want to say I'm sorry. Charge my Nightbot, not my heart. And I want to thank y'all all for coming in. All right, that's 40 minutes and 5 seconds. I'm going to go. Thank you. Love y'all. I'm going to keep a check on... I'll remember the things that y'all said you wanted to bring into your life. So believe me, you got an accountability partner now. So, facts. Good night.